Hello, everybody, and welcome to Belgrade, the Belgrade Arena. This is the FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2019, and it is the first quarterfinal of the day between Hungary and Great Britain. Well, not sure how many people would have predicted either of these teams making it this far in the competition. It has been quite a roll for Great Britain. And Chema there, the coach, Chema Buqueta, or as we say down south in Spain, Buceta. And you have a wonderful story developing also for Hungary. Later today, Spain and Russia, then France, Belgium, and capping things off, probably the showpiece event here is the host Serbia are up against Sweden. So I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Shona Thorburn, the former Canada international. Shona, what do you think about this matchup?
I think it's exciting. Both these teams have a great opportunity to possibly be playing in the semifinal of the 2019 Women's EuroBasket. So, you know, they're not necessarily going up against the powerhouses, the Spains, the Serbia, the France, the Belgium. So really, I think both these teams, this game is wide open. And if you ask me to predict, I'm not sure I could. I think maybe the momentum and the feeling right now is on GB's side. But then again, we saw Hungary clinch first place in Group C after only 2 games in pool play. So they have to be feeling good about themselves as well.
Well, look at Great Britain. We saw the emotion, how much it meant for them to get past Montenegro in convincing fashion the other day. And to make it here to Belgrade, this is quite an opportunity for them.
Absolutely, Jeff. You know, you definitely saw the emotion, the tears, and they were happy tears because they realized that they did make history for their country and women's basketball. And, you know, maybe GB, Great Britain, are going to be a force to reckon with moving forward because they do have some incredibly talented young players. That being said, you know, going into this tournament, we were talking about Hungary, and I honestly didn't know if they would make it out of pool play. And wow, did they ever prove me wrong, because they finished first in a pool with Italy, Turkey, and Slovenia.
Yeah, Turkey, obviously the most highly rated team in recent times, playing at the last couple Olympics. They did not get out of the group. Listen, everybody, I think, was surprised that Hungary clinched that quarterfinal spot after 2 games. And I can say, without a doubt, their coach, Norbert Seke, was. I mean, his expectations, you know, he was full of hope, but he was also realistic. So this Hungary team, I think, has surpassed a lot of people's expectations before the tournament. We're going to have applause and the commentary for the playing of the national anthems of Great Britain and Hungary.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthems. We will now hear the anthem of Great Britain. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Hungary.
Well, the national anthems have been played, and the players are going to meet at mid-court, and also the coaches to shake hands and wish each other well. And also we're going to look at the referees here lining up to do this game. And there they are. They're kind of hiding. Okay, there they are. So Marius Chulin on the right. Vasiliki Sharuka in the middle, and Zdenko Tomashovic from Slovakia
Marius Chulin
on the
from
left.
Romania and Zdenko
So Greek,
Tomashovic from
Romanian,
Slovakia.
and Slovakian. And we're going to look at the rosters. And also the starting fives and some key players. And tell me what you think, Shona.
I mean, clearly one of the big talks of the tournament is the woman we just saw, Temi Fagbeno. She's averaging 21 points a game for them. She has been an absolute game changer. Her athleticism, her height, but also her scoring ability. And that being said, GB have also had contributions from, you saw there, Joe Leedham, Samuelson. Here we see the starting lineup: Rachel Vanderwall, Chantal Handy, Joe Leedham, Temi Fagbeno, and Carly Samuelson. So all of those players are very capable of leading this team in scoring on any given night. And we've seen that so far in this tournament. Here, you know, the star I was talking about. And Jeff, how impressed were you?
Well, she took my breath away watching the last game. Temi Fagbeno. I mean, I think what I really love about her is how she receives the ball. I mean, the ball comes in the paint, and she catches it like it's nothing, like it's a tennis ball. And then she goes to work. She plays with so much confidence. I mean, you have to really be impressed by the play of a lot of these Great Britain players. The way they've gotten after things, and mentally. And Hungary as well.
Yeah, you know, obviously Yvonne Turner, she just turned it on in that first game, was able to pull off the win for them. But how good has Bernadette Hattar been? And also off the bench, the veteran Dora Horty.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start with the captain, Rakshani. She sat down and didn't play in the third game. Studer, Yvonne Turner, Bernadette Hattar, and Dorina Zelle, full of energy. You know, this Turner is going to be tough, but so is Hattar. And one of the great secrets, really, I think, of European basketball, the way she played in the group phase. She was phenomenal, and what I was really impressed by was her soft touch. Wherever she put the ball up, she was tough.
Yeah, she was absolutely their most consistent player. She came ready to play every single game, and even their last game, which they lost.
Well, Chemi Buteta is just a wonderful person, first and foremost, but his approach clearly works for this British team. I would say he's laid back. He keeps things in perspective. I don't think he puts too much pressure on the players. They've got enough pressure already to deal with. Norbert Sake, the coach, again, just very optimistic, very positive person. Just two wonderful people to have involved in the game.
Yeah, you know, you had the opportunity to talk to Coach Norbert before group play started, and like you said, he was very optimistic, sort of laid back, knew that the program was going in the right direction, but maybe this wasn't quite their year. And I think their performance has honestly almost shocked him also in a very good way. And the same thing has to be said about Coach Chema and Great Britain. I'm not sure either of these teams, they believe that they could possibly be, but to actually make it is very different. And both these teams are in a very unique situation and have a great opportunity ahead of them.
So it's the first of 4 games today. We are in Belgrade.
Good game, ladies.
Well, we are in Belgrade. I guess if you're back watching this game in Britain, you're still late morning, but it's 12:30 here in Belgrade Arena. It's Great Britain in the blue going up against Hungary, and already Fagbeno goes hard to the basket but misses. She did the hard work, and it's unusual seeing her not knock it down, but that, I would say, is a positive sign for Great Britain that she was able to get to the rim. Now Hungary. And driving down the lane and getting it to go is the captain, Rakshani, who, again, was probably not that impressive in the group phase.
No, you know, qualifying for this tournament, she shot 50% from 3. So coming in, I thought she was really going to light it up for this team. And so far, that's not what we've seen from her. And, you know, I kind of mentioned maybe she's saving the best for last, and she's going to be the one who leads the team because, like you said, she hasn't done a whole lot in the first group phase.
Interesting matchup as well as Vanderwall inbounds the ball to lead them. And, again, A little bit of a lid on the basket for Great Britain. Yvonne Turner is guarding Carly Samuelson, so see how that develops. Here's Hattar, and good defense. That was one of the not as smooth-looking shots that we've seen from Hattar, so good defense from Fagbender. Now Vanderwall drives in, and Studer picks the pocket. Passes up ahead to Rakshani, who lays it up and in. And that was my main concern for Great Britain, was that backcourt play of Hungary. They might have an advantage there.
And you know, I mean, it's only 4-0, but so far Rakshani scored all 4 points for them, and I'm a little nervous about that if I'm Great Britain.
And now Chantal Handy launches a three, and ball goes out of bounds. They actually had a couple of good looks before that inside, but Chantal Handy was open, and this is Rakshani after the steal and then catching the pass for the layup. Yvonne Turner, good! Well, this Hungary team coming out and meaning business here early on. Lead him over to Handy. The back of the iron now. Carly Samuelson pulls it back out, puts it up, and she can't knock it down. So Great Britain are 0 for to start this game.
And you know, Jeff, they've had great looks though, so I wouldn't be too concerned if I'm Great Britain.
Dorina Zelle drives. Fagbender with the rebound. Outlet pass to Vanderwall. Leadham pulls up and still can't get it to go. That one rattled out. It looked like it was down and it came out. What's wrong with that side of the court?
Well,
There's a gremlin in there.
The advantage is
now Turner, she was short. Now
Hungary also have to play on that
side. Chance to run
side.
for Britain. Here in the break, Samuelson. And Turner slowed her up. Almost knocked the ball away. Now Samuelson goes baseline, and then she is fouled by Hattar. And I don't know why Hattar left her feet. If she stayed on her feet, she probably gets the block.
She probably does, or she at least forces a very, very difficult shot that I'm not sure would have gone in. Because she wasn't, well, I guess she might have been late because she was inside the charge circle, so she wouldn't have drawn the charge, you know?
That's a strange Hattar.
Strategy?
I mean, she didn't just keep her hands up. I mean, she really swiped down. So when you're struggling, and if you can get to the free throw line just to see the ball go through the hoop, that's
You know
crucial.
what? Exactly, and I think just to prove that the ball only 1 or 2 from Samuelson, but they do know that there is not a lid on the basket because it has gone through the hoop once for them.
Well, 7-1 Hungary here early in the first quarterfinal. Rakshani's had a good start. Her pass down low to Hattar, and a shaky start for Hattar. Remember, the top 6 teams at this FIBA Women's EuroBasket will be invited, or will be going to FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments next year. There's Rakshani, the captain, and Great Britain looking for their first field goal. Will they get something inside? No, they passed to Fagbender. Let's see that low post move. Oh, she spins. She goes strong. Are you kidding me?
She is so incredibly athletic. I mean, she almost went, her fake spin move was almost so fast that she fell over. And I think
that
that's
was
something,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Shona.
it was. It was a beautiful play.
Tough.
And you know what? Right now, if I'm Great Britain, I'm getting the ball to her almost every time on the low block and just telling her, you know what? You go at it until they come a W.
Rakshani passes to Hattar. And a little bit of a mismatch there. Fagbender out. And it was Vanderwall that had the responsibility of guarding Hattar. And she catches the ball that close to the basket. Forget about it. Samuelson dribbles behind her back. Dribbling in. Vanderwall gets the shot blocked by Dorina Zelle. Now Studer crosses midcourt. Looks at the options. Zelle back to Studer, who can shoot it. 3-second violation on Bernadette Hattar, so probably her worst start to a game.
Yeah, and you know what? She looks a little bit more winded than we've seen.
Great block by Dorina Zelle on the Vanderwall jumper. Yeah, I'm with you. I think if I'm Great Britain,
Right?
I am looking to get the ball inside to Fagbinley.
Right here. Post up.
That was Hungary's second turnover. Here's Fagbinley again. Look at that. She is not bothered in the slightest by the 6'10" Qatar.
And, you know, Hungary's defensive plan, they've decided to make sure, they want Hatar to guard her one-on-one, and I'm not sure Hungary are talented enough individually defensively in the post to be able to guard Fagbinley one-on-one.
She may just be the premier center of this competition. Here's Turner driving in. And that's saying something.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, the pass. I mean, you're talking about the Videvas, I guess Messamon would qualify as a center. And now the ball turns over into the hands of Turner. She brings it back.
Messman, Videva, pass to Endor.
Some very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly the way she's played in this competition, I think you could argue nobody's played better. 20-plus games, 20-plus points in each of her games. Here's the jump shot, no good. All of these players are so versatile. If you had them in the same team, they could play different positions. There is the long rebound over to Hatar.
And, you know, another open look and another miss by GB. But if you're watching the ball, the shots look great. They're either hitting back rim, like you said, one was in and then popped back out. So they're actually really good looks.
Rakshani takes the three. Samuelson down, slow to get up, and she's going to have to come out, I think. Leadham a little bit out of control. Stepping in to take the charge was the young guard, Agnes Studer. And Samuelson, I didn't see what happened, but she goes out of the game limping, and that is not a good sign for Great Britain.
And, you know, great defense by Studer there to just sacrifice her body. And, you know, that's a steal, in my opinion. She's already had one great hands with against Rachel Vanderwill's take, so she's playing great for them so far.
The veteran Horty is checked in now. She's going to try her luck against Fagbinley. Now Yvonne Turner, good! Another jumper for her. That's quite a naturalized player for Hungary. She's played professionally in Hungary for Sopron. Played at the EuroLeague Women's Final Four. Now the jump shot. And the miss by Simpson. Great Britain will keep it.
You know, I don't want to say it troubles me, and I think people need to take open shots, but right now, you got to get the ball inside to Fagbinley because they haven't been able to stop her yet.
Yeah, that's got to be your first option. She gets pushed a little bit by Horty, and now the double team. Green's in, is asking for the ball, now it's Leadham. Shot clock winding down, goes off of Green, she gets it off just in time and is fouled by Zele. What a play by Green.
I'm not sure it was intentional, but that's just a good job of, I would say, sticking with the play, you know, not giving up. It was what, 0.4 seconds when she got the foul call. Ball was passed to her, went off the backboard.
Yeah, just a little unlucky there, I think, Zele, but it's a good call by the ref. And what about the improvement of this player? Not evident with that free throw, but certainly a key factor in this British team in this tournament. And she makes the second one. So it's 11-6. So Vanderwall out of the game.
Substitution team.
And coming into the game is Georgia Jones. So this is a key phase of the game here with Turner being guarded by Simpson and also Jones in. Having to guard Deborah Dubé, who is really good for Hungary. Good hands by Fagbinley, forcing the turnover. Leadham, there she is, and takes it back out. Well, if I'm British, I want to see Fagbinley on the court as much as possible. Here's Jones. Knocks in the three. Well, how about that right off the bench?
You know, I wouldn't advise the first touch of the game that you shoot a three-pointer, but I think that's a great look. And, you know, GB needed that at this moment because they have missed all of their outside shots.
Well, I think it's a foul on Great Britain here. But here you go, look at this, Georgia Jones.
41, Team Great.
If there's one thing I would say about Buffett is he really does seem to transmit confidence to all of his players. They feel good about themselves. And she didn't think twice about knocking that down. Rakshani goes baseline. Well, they're getting some good looks, Hungary, but not knocking them down. And Green with the rebound. Now to Fagbinley. What a soft catch and touch and shot. And they have tied it up.
I mean, for her to be able to catch that ball, there was a defender coming in behind who she did not see, and she was still able to finish.
Oh, she just called it right in the face from Horty, an inadvertent shot. And I think actually Chulin may have called it. Or did he see another foul?
No, he saw the back screen for Horty by, I think it was Dubé.
Okay, watch it. She got absolutely
right here,
flattened. She got smacked in the face, Fagbinley. She's trying to tough it out right now.
I mean, they almost need her to tough it out, to be honest.
It was inadvertent, but she did get it. If we get another look, there you see Samuelson back in the game, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think she might have just slipped on the decal and maybe tweaked her ankle a little bit. It looked like she was getting taped at the end of the bench.
Well, you gotta gut it out right now. Here she is. Jones pulls up. A little bit long on that one. Remember, Hungary started out with a 7-0 lead, but it's been Great Britain who's been doing the business since. And tough move by the veteran Horty, who, if you haven't followed her, she been a part of this Hungarian national team for a long time, but took a break, started a family, and had basically decided she wasn't coming back, but Coach Sake talked to her, and she agreed to come back. And it's a good thing that she did. She's been a big part of their success, and she makes the first free throw. And gets both of them to fall. Jones guarded by Dubé. Now Samuelson. And she was fouled by Rakshani. I was impressed walking onto the court yesterday when Samuelson came out, or not impressed, but I was taken by her size. She's a little bit bigger than I anticipated watching on TV.
Yeah, you know, she is a tall three who can also play two for them.
Here she is, and knocks in the jump shot. I tell you, see the quality in this British team. I mean, this is no fluke that they've played it this far. This is a very skillful team with some good players, and now the turnover. You know, they took some shots early here from Hungary, and at no point did they look mentally like they'd lost any confidence.
No, but you know, like I mentioned, I thought their shots were great looks, and they were good misses as well. They were back rim, they were dead on, and there you just saw Samuelson.
Well, this is the second time that Studer has come out, and again, that backcourt concern for me, if you're Great Britain, you got to be ready, because Studer and Turner will pick your pocket every time.
Yeah, you know, and right here, you got to give Georgia Jones a release. You got to come and help her. The posts have to come and help her. The guards have to come and help her. Because like you said, Studer and Turner.
Look at Green reach in, knock it away. She's going to go in ahead of Hatar and score. What a play!
Well, that's a good job getting the ball back off of a turnover and converting 2 points.
Studer, shot clock winding down, takes a three. Great job boxing out, and what a quarter, folks. What a quarterfinal. Is Great Britain leading it 15-13 over Hungary.
If you had asked me 4 minutes, 5 minutes into this first quarter, I would not have guessed that Great Britain would be up 2 points to Hungary right now. and then we'll get a quick look at some stats here. And, you know, like I said, Great Britain have had good chances, and they're converting 5 of 10, 50% compared to 44 for Hungary. Free throw, neither team shooting the three-pointer well.
Well, folks, we're in the Belgrade Arena. This is the opening quarter final of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket, and Hungary have a long and rich tradition in women's basketball, and for Great Britain, well, not so much, but here they are in their first ever quarterfinal. No men's team has made it to a quarterfinal from Great Britain, and the good people back in the United Kingdom, if they don't know about this British team, they're going to start waking up pretty soon. These players are for real.
Yeah, and you know, Jeff, keep in mind, win or lose today, they still have an opportunity to qualify for the qualification tournaments for Tokyo 2020. So obviously they want to win. It's a guarantee. You know, you'll be playing for a medal if you win today, sorry. But that being said, it's also qualifying for the future and qualifying for the Olympics, and they've given themselves a chance doing that just by playing in this game.
Second quarter action underway here in the Belgrade Arena, and I'm not sure if there was a clock issue, but Sharuha's called timeout here. The Greek referee to go sort something out at the table. We were in Nice, Shona, and I thought we were pretty impressed by the refereeing down there. I mean, there were no issues whatsoever to speak about.
I mean, I'd be very surprised if the refs were perfect for an entire 40-minute game, but I thought it was well refed. It was even. There was no favoritism that we saw, and like you said, I think it was well refed.
So far, a good start today as well. Qatar not making the impacts that perhaps we anticipated, but you got to consider the quality of the defense she's going up against. Here she is, and again, her shot just is off, and I think it's more to do with the British D than anything else.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, we did question. I don't know how.
Simpson launches, good! And you have to be impressed by the number of players in this British team that are contributing offensively.
And they're not bashful. There's no hesitation. And like you said, I think that comes from the coaching staff. They've given confidence to this GB team.
Dubé with the long one. And now it's Hungary, perhaps, that may be questioning themselves. Here's Samuelson. Seems to be moving around pretty well. Handy brings a little bit of rain with that. This is frightening. What a start for Great Britain. It's a 40-minute game. I wonder if they can keep this up because they look tough so far. And Studer drives in, and Jones almost ties her up. But a foul has been called, so Studer will go to the free throw line.
Second personal foul, Team Great Britain, number 4, Georgia Jones.
And I remember talking to you. I was like, my main concern for Great Britain is what happens when you do bring, you know, how deep do they go? You bring some of those players off the court, and so far that has not been an issue at all in this game.
No, and what's great is that Coach Chema of Great Britain has his starters on the bench. Well, I just said that. Now, of course, they're checking in. But he has been able to give them a good rest. They came out in the beginning of the first. They're going back in, you know, minute 15 into the second quarter. So at least they've had a break, they've had a breather, and now they're able to push it. And it's really their bench that's giving them this lead right now.
Handy, she's going to put up another one. Good! Wow, this is an amazing start by Great Britain. They don't look surprised at all. I mean, they have come out playing with confidence, and they lead it 24-15 over a Hungary team that, remember, clinched a quarterfinal spot just 2 games into this tournament. And they are facing the sort of adversity, really. I guess Hungary fell behind against Slovenia in their opener and battled back to win that game. So they have faced some adversity, and they've been able to come back. But I dare say there might be a little bit more firepower in this British team than we saw in Slovenia.
And, you know, this British team have just been playing with confidence. And I think, especially once they got that big win over Montenegro, there's no reason why they don't believe they can't win.
Okay, so look at the assists and the turnovers. And 7 assists for Great Britain, just 4 turnovers. Not as good for Hungary. Let's hear what Chema says.
Ladies, let's go.
Okay, well,
He
heard him say, let's go.
And there you see the 3-point shooting, and at the end of the first quarter, it wasn't good for either of them, and GB have come out, and they've knocked down 3 threes in this quarter. But, you know, keep in mind, sorry, Jeff, our wonderful stats people who let us know what's going on. Great Britain are the only team in this tournament who have scored 40% or more of their attempted field goals. They're at 43.3%. So they are a very, very good shooting team.
They are. Hatar catches it. Look at Fagbenli. Oh, great play. Oh, Hatar misses. Then she gets the rebound, has it knocked out of her hands. Not the same player today, folks. Studer goes baseline. And that was a great effort by Studer, and Andy will be upset that she gave away the baseline.
And, you know, keep in mind, Group C didn't have the biggest of bigs, so Hatar was maybe not challenged.
Andy again, didn't hesitate. Ball goes out. For me, right now, if I'm Hungary, I want the ball in Turner's hands. And here you see another look at that play from Studer. Good D by Leadham on Studer, denying her the ball, and then she takes it away, Leadham. Great defense from the Brits. And then Fagbenli, no room, still is able to keep her balance and score.
Again, that's the second time we've seen it. Her to be able, to just be able to do that it's really difficult, Jeff. It's really difficult. And she's able to catch it, not turn it over, not foul, not get an offensive foul, and score.
Well, Studer launches, and Leadham was kind of putting her body on Hatar, but Hungary and Varga came over and got the rebound. Now Turner pulls up, and she misses, and Leadham.
And to me, that's good defense by Great Britain. If I'm Turner, you got to be aggressive. She's one of the quickest players in this tournament.
I think Schulen's going to call the travel yet. It didn't look quite right, did it?
No, I'm not sure it was a travel, but I think it might have looked very awkward.
Hatar's going to come out, shaking her head. She's like, what's happened to my game?
Well, I don't think she went up against a post defender like Fagbenli. So she looks like she's rushing her shot a little bit more than we saw in the first few games, and I think she's worried about getting blocked.
Hungary backs against the wall right now, and then Horty catches. What a play by Samuelson to take the punishment and then knock the ball over to Leadham. Van der Waal, she launches a 3. I think Great Britain don't want to fall in love with the three-pointer. They want to go down to Fagbenli, but Leadham's going to launch, and Turner grabs the rebound.
Yeah, I think that was a good point, Jeff. I mean, you just put up 1 3-pointer. I think that was a little ill-advised from Joe Leadham, that second 3-point attempt. Go inside to Fagbenli. No, they have not been able to stop her yet. So until they do, I think you go to her.
Okay, it's an interesting challenge here for Van der Waal, guarded by Studer, who's been a pest in all of her games. Now Handy gets it back to Van der Waal. Puts it up, and looked like the ball was going down, and it came out. Now Turner brings it up quickly for Hungary. Ortiz sets a little bit of a screen. And foul down low. So it's on Van der Waal. Pass over to Rakshani. She misses again. Just can't get it to go. Hungary started okay, but they offensively are kind of enduring an almighty struggle now. Great Britain, meanwhile, Fagbenley. Even she steps out.
Yeah, and you might be right, Jeff. I think Great Britain, they knocked down a few shots early in this quarter, and they might have fallen in love with the outside shot.
And now an offensive foul called on Hungary, on Horty, trying to post up for position.
She hooked.
Yep.
It's kind of one of those veteran moves that a lot of post players do.
Here it is, watch. Horty down low. Oh, yeah. Well, she kind of raised her left arm. Got underneath Handy. 5 turnovers on Great Britain, 9 now for Hungary. Green back in the game. And Samuelson able to get the ball back to Green. She was trapped, and Fagbenley now launches it from the corner, but then Leadham sneaks in there, gets it back. And another turnover on Hungary. It's number 10, Leadham. Shot clock about to expire, so Samuelson launches it. And they've missed now about 7 in a row from deep.
Yeah.
Yet they still lead by 9.
Well, I question some of the shot selection. Right there, she had to go up.
Yeah,
the shot clock was winding down, so she had to throw that shot up. But before that, I think they're, like you said, I think they've fallen in love with the three-pointer a little bit too much. And I mean, the good thing is they're coming down, they're playing decent defense. So Hungary haven't had
playing great defense.
Yeah. So Hungary haven't been able to get anything going either.
Horty, the pass to Varga, outside to Dubé, back to Varga. She's guarded by Leadham. Varga drives in, a little bit out of control, might have gotten away with a charge.
And really, Jeff, that was actually great defensive execution by this GB team. They were helping where they were supposed to help.
Even Green's going to put it up. If I'm Chema, I'm thinking, ladies, it is okay to pass the ball inside. Let's go where we've had some success.
You don't want to use a timeout because you are still up 9, but he needs to talk to them about, you know, here you see the shots of 4 of 15. Hungary are only 1 of 6 from 3, but they haven't got any good looks on the inside.
Oh, the pass to Horty finally stops the rod for Hungary. And Studer stays back, almost tries to go for a steal there. They were Great Britain were 1 of 6 at the end of the first quarter from three-point range. So they have had some fall. Let's see if they go down low now. Fagbenley, this is much better. She takes the contact. Shona, and she will go to the line. I'm going to tell you right now, that is a big-time play. Big time.
And they needed it. They really needed it. And, you know, I think they should have been looking at her. Here we get to see it again.
She is so skilled.
She took the contact and was able to finish. But really, they need to go into her more often. I mean, she settled for outside shots during that period as well. So really, let Fagbenley post up or have her try and take the big, because Hungary have not proven that they can stop her at this point in the game.
Yeah, she is skillful. Varga puts it up from long range, and the ball falls right into the hands of Samuelson. And Fagbenley passes to Van der Waal, I think, and Van der Waal is looking the other way. Handy's going to come in for Green. This is quite, I'll tell you what, I've been covering international basketball for quite a while, and, you know, the truth of the matter is, other than at the Olympics in 2012, the Great Britain women just have not really registered. And here they are, looking this good, one step away from the semifinals. This is a remarkable story that we're watching. Another dunk down low. And
you know, keep in mind at the 2012 Olympics, they had a lot of close games.
they did.
You know, they weren't by any means getting blown out.
And that was a battling team.
Yeah.
Julie Page. I mean, a lot of really good players on that team as well. Look at the block. This time we're seeing what Fagbenley does defensively. she's doing everything. And this time Hatar knocks it away. Hatar's got to really wake up and start playing, or else Hungary's chances are going to vanish. Samuelson misses, but the long rebound ends up with Fagbenley. And this time she doesn't finish as well. Dubé. Dubé, it's online, it's good! Well, let's see if that triggers a little bit of a comeback for Hungary. And Leadham has it knocked away. Good extra effort from Handy to get it back for the Brits, and Jones launches another three and misses. Now Studer. And good D by Handy. And this is where Great Britain is doing well. They might not be playing as well offensively, but defensively they are making plays. And now a foul has been called on Hungary. It's only their third team foul, so they've got another one that they can commit before Great Britain starts
Here we
shooting
see,
threes.
and you know, I said maybe Hatar is kind of rushing her shot because she's worried about getting blocked. Well,
And that's the Dubé three.
and you know, I think Georgia Jones was guarding Dubé there. She needs to have a hand up. Dubé is a great three-point shooter. She's proven it in this tournament already.
Yeah. Now Leadham catches the inbound. Pass. Here's Jones. Well, she's not shy, and she's going to knock that one down. And takes the lead back to 10. Buffetta certainly is letting his girls, letting his ladies come out and fire them up from deep. Good hands by Leadham. Now, great block from Samuelson.
And GB should take the last shot here. A little bit of a shot clock difference, 3-4 seconds.
It's the defensive end, which
I
is
would
where
just
Great Britain
post
have been
up
so
by
good.
Bentley right here and ask her to go
She's
one-on-one.
going to roll. Here she goes. Rolls to the basket, and now a foul. They had one to give.
That is Hatar's second foul. I'm not sure if
Okay, so this is a big, could be potentially a big possession for Great Britain. They want to get something. They don't want to take the shot too quick to allow Hungary
9
to break.
seconds is a lot of time. You can run a play, you can run a screening option. You know, imagine going in up 12-13 into the half against a good Hungarian team. Or if you're hungry, you need to get a stop. You need to dig down and you need to get a stop right here.
Let's listen to Coach Buffetta.
Kenny, you are here. Go for the pass. So we have safe pass now, okay? And then go for Joe, and we play fist, all right? For one shot, okay?
If
For one
her
shot.
big steps out, I mean, Temi has to roll. Everybody else stays space, and you have to lift and move so I can find
One,
you.
2, and 3, ready for shooting the ball. But they have the bonus. Try to go inside, okay? And then shot, touch. Okay? Megpróbálunk belőle egy labdát szerezni. Nem kell faultot ütni.
See the rebounds, Great Britain 22 to 19. Slight advantage.
Jó? Mert kicsi szerkezetben vagyunk bent. Jó?
Look at Temi Fagbenley. 11 points, 6 rebounds. Well on her way to another double-double. She's already got the points, obviously. She's got some panache. Look at that. That
She is
that
just
finish there
athletic.
was, yeah, beautiful.
And she almost seems a little unpolished, her game. And what I mean by that is I think she's still going to improve a lot.
Oh, yeah. which is frightening for opponents. It's good news for the Brits. Here's Handy. She had a good look. They drew it up, and I think Great Britain will be more than happy to go to halftime with the lead. In Hungary, I guess halftime is coming at a good time. They need to go back and come up with a different plan of attack against Great Britain. It's Great Britain leading it 32-22, the first quarterfinal at the FIBA Women's EuroBasket.
Couple stats going into the half. Only 30% for Hungary. Really, they're missing a lot of shots. They've had shot attempts, but they're missing them. Slight rebounding advantage. I think Hungary needs to do a better job. When you're missing shots, you need to go offensive rebound. They only have 2 offensive rebounds, only 5 for Great Britain, which is not a lot. But when you're not hitting down your shots, when you're having a difficult time getting good looks, because Hungary have been, you got to give yourself a second chance. Here you have the leaders, Turner. She only has 5 points, Jeff. She's only shot the ball 4 times. That was in the first quarter, I think. They went away from her. She's one of the best players. She's one of the best attacking guards. Here you see her shooting the 3, knocking it down. She can knock down the 3. I think her advantage or her skill set is more driving, and we haven't seen that from her. But Hungary aren't even looking for it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the backcourt of Hungary, Studer and Turner specifically, have not been more influential in this game. Hatar is not the same player today, but I think that has much more to do with the size and athleticism of the front court for Great Britain.
I think GB are playing great defense.
They are.
They really, they're switching everything, but then they're helping. They're almost kind of trapping, but not really. And they're just doing a good job of recovering and switching and helping out each other. And they're forcing some turnovers. I mean, they've already forced 10 turnovers.
You're right, and they have scored 14 points off those turnovers. Great Britain getting out in the break, scoring 9 points on fast break. They've also had some contributions coming from the bench, 12 points, which, they look, Jones especially has been tough. So Simpson knocked down the 3-pointer from the wing right in front of the British bench.
Yep.
And I'm not sure, if you're Hungary, where do you go with this? Because defensively, if Great Britain can play as well defensively as they did in the first half, it's going to be
a long 20 minutes. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. And I think they just need to do a better job of moving the ball, maybe trying to tire out the defense of Great Britain, share it a little bit more, some penetration, kick, pass. Their offense has just been stagnant. And maybe that's because they haven't been able to go to Hatar, who has been their most consistent offensive threat throughout this tournament. And now she's almost been, I don't want to say shut down, but she's only 1 of 5, 2 points. We've seen her get blocked.
She's been shut down and taken out of her game, and I think almost mentally.
Yeah.
Fagbenley has just completely destroyed her in the first 20 minutes. So we'll see if she can regroup and come back. She's 24 years of age. But, this is the Hungary perhaps that we kind of expected to see in the group phase, having these types of struggles. Fagbenley again, 11 points, 6 rebounds, a steal and a block. She's got an efficiency rating, a team high efficiency rating of plus 13. And with Samuelson, the big name with the big game, went to Stanford.
Had a great game against Montenegro, 28 points.
She hasn't really had to do that much.
Nope.
Because everybody else has stepped up. And Joe Leadham hasn't scored 0 of 4 from the floor, but yet her defense has been terrific. And look at her, what she's got. She's got 8 of Great Britain's 22 rebounds and also 4 assists. So all of these players are contributing in different ways, and especially on the defensive end. So we're at the break, folks. It's halftime. It's Great Britain leading it 32-22 over Hungary. We'll be right back before the start of the second half.
Horvath.
Oh, beautiful pass to Tanili from Zandalasini, taking the shot clock all the way down to the end.
Janovic step back three is good.
Up ahead it goes to Delar, and Belgium has stormed back to take the lead.
Well, back there, little jump shot for two is good.
Hannah for three. Dato, what a play! Rebounded it and then passed in the same motion. Well, Yvonne Turner, we talked about her, folks. She's got to get it going for Hungary. They're going to have a chance. Only 5 points so far. They trailed 32-22 against Great Britain at halftime. Tammy Fegmanley, meanwhile, has lived up to her reputation that she's established at this women's EuroBasket. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of 9 from the floor. And interesting, some great work development-wise in the United Kingdom. I probably don't give as much credit as they deserve, but also these players continuing that develop, a lot of them in the United States. Fegmanley was one, Green. Fegmanley was at Harvard, then she finished up at USC in California, Southern Cal. Yep. Green was in Tennessee, one of the traditional powerhouses of women's basketball in the NCAA. And even you look at Samuelson at Stanford, another of the great powerhouses of women's basketball. So interesting to see them all come together here. And, they had even more players that developed in the UK and then went over and continued in the United States. So maybe it's their time.
I mean, why not? There's no... If, for whatever reason, they lose this game, it won't be... I mean, they've done everything that they need to do. Why can they not win? Maybe Hungary comes out and just dominates in the second half, and that can happen because Hungary is also a good team, but why not now? Why not us? I mean, they need to be asking themselves this, and they need to have confidence after that first half. I think they honestly went on a stretch there also for a few minutes, many possessions, at least I would say about 10 possessions where their offense was not good. They were not getting good looks. They were relying too much on the outside shot, and they weren't going in, and they're still up 10. So, right now, if I'm the leaders of this Great Britain team, I'm saying, why not now? Why not us?
Ez a kulcs ebben a helyzetben.
What do you think it was that Norbert Sakay said to his players at halftime in terms of turning this thing around?
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to be directed about offense because they weren't getting good looks, but they weren't going to the offense that works for them, and that's, get the ball in Turner's hand, let her create. She's excellent at getting to the basket, scoring for herself, but I think her passing ability is maybe overlooked a little bit because her scoring ability is that great. And they didn't go to her in the second quarter at all. I think Hatar needs to calm down, use her height, play with that. You know, we keep talking about this wonderful finesse touch she has on her shot. She just needs to play with a little bit more confidence. But, you know, we said this, maybe Hungary weren't really challenged enough in group play, and things and offense especially came easy for them, and now they're actually being challenged. I mean, GB they have a great game plan defensively, and they're executing it, Jeff.
Third quarter underway here in the Belgrade Arena, the first quarterfinal of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket between Great Britain and Hungary. Fagbenli takes it down low, and Hatar did not give away much space there, but she was called for a foul. I think she thought that he had said Fagbenli had stepped out of bounds.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that that is Hatar's third foul, Jeff. And she's not someone you can lose because, like I said earlier, here, yeah.
She was moving, but anyway, Fagbenli goes back up, gets the miss, goes up again strong. I mean, that is impressive stuff. She just wants to pad her rebounding stats.
Yeah, I guess so, you know. She wants to get a double-double in this game, and she's not far away. But really, 3 fouls on Hatar is a little bit worrisome if I'm the coach of Hungary.
Zele drives in. Nice answer from Darina Zele.
And, you know, I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive from all positions, Hungary do. Hey, Struder, we haven't even seen her get going yet.
Struder, we've seen her.
She hasn't even looked for her shot, to be honest. She shot the last-second shot.
Vanderwall traveling. But I think you got to credit that British defense in the first half. And we'll see if they can keep it up. See the turnovers. That's number 7 on Great Britain. Studer, she says, you didn't let me go in, I'm going to go in, but then she kind of lost control of the ball, was able to get it back, but then Vanderwall sneaks in, takes it away, and drives in for the layup. Boy, that was an alert play by Vanderwall. Nice burst of speed.
It really was, and I thought that was great defense by Joe Leedham to kind of force the turnover a little bit, to be honest. I mean, it was a difficult pass from Struder, and then just good job Vanderwall, who has the tough task of guarding Yvonne Turner, but she did a good job of getting in the passing lane there.
Struder in the lane, Samuelson with the rebound. Foul on Darina Zele on Handy. Handy has good length as well, doesn't she, in terms of her size and ability?
Yeah, you know, like you said, and you're seeing that on defense because they are able to switch all positions. And really the only mismatch is when Rachel Vanderwall has to switch on to the big, because as far as Joe Leedham, Handy, and Samuelson, they all have a little bit of height to them, so they're able to switch. And it's clearly frustrating Hungary's offense.
Samuelson bounce pass. Fagbenli hands it off to Leedham and then takes it back out. And I think Leedham might not have been aware about the shot clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Fagbenli was either, because she probably could have gone up as well. At least tried to draw a foul. Keep in mind, Hatar has 3 fouls. She is not going to try and foul or even contest it where it could possibly be a foul, because she doesn't want to pick up her 4th this early in the second half.
Good point, Shona. Well, let's see if Britain try to take advantage of that. And Leedham almost. She was tempted into making an attempt on the ball, but then ended up picking up a foul.
Second personal foul, number 13, team Great Britain. Joanna Lido.
That's a good job by Struder to absorb the contact. And Simpson now comes into the game for Vanderwall. Leedham also goes out of the game. Jones comes back in. And Hatar, and this is yet again, it's been a real nightmare offensively for...
And those were the kind of shots that we had not seen her miss in 3 games.
She did not miss anything close to that. That's for sure. Now Jones, that was back in niche. Here's Jones again, drives in. She took it right at Hatar. She's drilling it from deep, and she is going hard to the hole.
Like I said, Hatar is not going to foul. She's not even going to come close to where the refs could possibly call a foul.
Oh, nice handoff by Rakshani, but shooter missed, but was able to get it back. 14-point lead, the biggest of the game for Great Britain. And as Montenegro will attest from their meeting with Great Britain, it is tough to come back against these Brits when they go up by double digits.
Exactly, Jeff. And, you know, Montenegro were pretty close at halftime. And then GB just kind of put the foot on the pedal and ended up winning by almost 20.
Rakshani. Here's the captain. She's going at Fagbenley, has to alter the shot a little bit because Fagbenley was right in her drill. Studer gets the ball back. Rakshani, pump fake, hands it back to Gele. Good! Well, she's hit a couple of big shots in this quarter. Yeah, that gets back to an 11-point deficit. But those are shots under pressure. Simpson doesn't hesitate. And incredibly, Corky not able to rebound the basketball. She fumbles it out of bounds. Look at this, Gele. She had a strong performance back in niche. Fagbenley looks for the opening. Look at her follow the miss. And the ball grabbed by Studer, but she was out of bounds, and it's just been that kind of game for Hungary. They're so close to making plays.
Yeah.
And then something like that happens. 13 Hungarian turnovers today, 8 for Great Britain. Samuelson gets inside, puts it up. Oh, that is a tough move from Carly Samuelson.
Yeah, it was a great job staying with it.
Just so many options in that British team. Oh, Jones almost had another pick. Here's Studer, bounce pass, beautiful play. Hardy! And she will go to the line. And once again, Samuelson has gone down. And it looks like it might be the ankle again. And that, I can hear the words pick and roll come from the courtside mic from Hungary. Boy, that was, she took some punishment, and Horty came down on the ankle. Look at this.
Substitution team Great Britain.
Well, you can't see her down on the ground. You can see the ball going through the hoop.
Yeah, you're right, though. I think it is her ankle. I mean, the good thing is she walked off on her own. They're just going to get checked out by their training staff at the end of the bench.
Horty does not convert the three-point play opportunity.
You know, sometimes when you tweak your ankle, the initial pain and then sort of the natural adrenaline that your body produces kicks into play. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see her back out.
Simpson came in after the miss, tries to knock it away from Turner. I still feel like Turner is going to have something to say about this game before this is over.
Well, how about that first game for Hungary, where we saw Turner really just take over in the fourth quarter? You know, they ended up winning 88-84 to Slovenia. And what, did Turner have 12 points going into the fourth quarter, and she finished the game with 23?
Well, already Great Britain over the limit. And Turner's at the free throw line. That is not a good development for GB. It means every time they commit fouls, the Hungarians are going to be at the free throw line, and Turner incredibly misses a free throw. And she's a good shooter. She doesn't usually miss, so you're playing catch up sometimes. Good D by Studer, forcing the turnovers for not the first time against Jones. And Turner swoops in and misses.
You know, like like you mentioned, Jeff, she's shooting 91% from the free throw line in this tournament, Turner. So it just kind of shows when you miss free throws and you're a good free throw shooter, it's just not your day. That being said, there's a lot of time left in this game for it to turn around.
Here's Green. Passes to Simpson for 3. Jones trying to sneak up and knock the ball away. Great Britain with a 10-point lead. Turner over to Rakshani, open, good! Another three-pointer for Hungary, and signs of a little bit of recovery here for the Hungarians. Down now 7. Bit of a dry spell offensively for Great Britain. And when you start to struggle, you want to get it inside, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they got to go to FIBA. Not in
FIBA just says, no problem, I got this 3-pointer.
I know, I was just about to say. And that's not the shot I wanted FIBA to take, but you know what? She took it. She knocked it down.
Sean got into the lane. Now to Horty. Steps back, and I think FIBA, her defense, forced a bad shot. And then she just looks over at Jones and says, let's calm this thing down a little bit. We got plenty of time. Let me catch my breath. Here she is again, right at the line. Good! Okay, I'm going to revisit what I told you at the beginning of this game. Where is her status in terms of pivots in this tournament?
Yeah.
I mean, she is outstanding. 18 points. Look at that. Swoops in for another rebound. 18 points, 7 rebounds, a steal, and a block for Temi Fagbenley. And now a walk called on Leadham. I mean, right now, Fagbenley's one of the top 5 players in this tournament in my books.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
no question about
absolutely,
it.
easily. You know, she's averaging over 20 points a game for this GB team who have definitely, I would say, surprised some people so far that they're even playing in this game, Jeff. So to lead a team that's maybe the Cinderella story of this tournament.
Yeah, no question. She's got 8 rebounds now, so 18 points, 8 rebounds, steal and block.
And there's still 13.5 minutes left to play.
And that, you know, her little response there after the Hungarian run, Hungary had cut it to 7. She hit the big 3-pointer. See the rebounding totals. Great Britain now 5 more overall.
And you know, before this game, you know, I'd watched GB a few times here and there. And I would say Fagbenley, you know, incredibly athletic. She has a nice little jumper around the key. But today she has shown me easily that she has no hesitation knocking down threes. So she is a 5 player who can run the floor, can, you know, give teams second chance points. Some of her catches that she actually made baskets out of in the fast break as well. I mean, she's almost a complete package. Defensively, we've seen her alter shots. We've seen her block. She rebounds.
Here we go. 8 of 14 from the floor. And supremely confident in her ability to put the ball in the basket wherever she is on the court. There she is. Chasing on defense. Now it's Leadham. Studer gets it in low, has to take a difficult shot. And now a foul on the rebound on Hungary. How do you see Green? We've talked so much about Fagbenley, but there's Green in there. The replay of the foul. She's only scratching the surface of her
ability, yeah. I mean, she is only 23 years old. She went to JUCO in the U.S. and then, like you said, Tennessee. So, I mean, just to have the opportunity to play at Tennessee, clearly they know her potential as well.
Samuelson. Hungary breathed a sigh of relief over there on the bench as that one stayed out because she was open and that was her range. Now Turner. Balls to play. Hands it off to Deborah Dubé. And look at Fagbenley almost coming up with the steal. Turner gets it back. And then she charged into Samuelson. And just totally out of her game right now, Turner. And you just have to credit Great Britain.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's Great Britain's defense. If you're scouting Turner individually, she likes to go to her right a little bit more than she does her left. You know, she likes to attack right to the basket, finish right-handed. And I think that was just a good job by Carly Samuelson to cut off that right hand and draw the foul. And I think that give credit to the coaching staff because they've clearly scouted her and they know what she prefers to do. I'm not saying she can't go left, but what she prefers to do.
Whoa. She went behind her back. Folks, we were looking at a superstar here in the making with Tammy Fackman. She's doing it all.
But, you know, she's
Look
also...
at this. She's going behind her back, right into the lane.
I mean, this is a woman who also, you know, she's WNBA caliber. She's played for the Minnesota Lynx.
Makes the first. She averaged a double-double in the EuroLeague Women in 2018. 12 points, 10.5 rebounds for Polkovice. So this is she's a known entity clearly in Europe. But to see her doing it for Great Britain, that's got to be the great joy for the people back in the United Kingdom.
I mean, for her also, you know, you have these opportunities, you play on some of the best clubs around the world, but to wear your country's jersey, it's a different feeling. It's a different meaning.
Well, Horty twice had chances, you know, I mean, Leadham almost had the steal, but then she ended up right there under the basket and couldn't put it in.
And those were even shots by Horty that she wasn't missing in the first round.
Samuelson didn't hesitate, keeping the pressure on. Turner into the corner to Rakshani. Good! Well, it gives them a little bit of hope. Cuts back to a 10-point deficit.
And, you know, really, I think Rakshani and, for me, Zele are the two players for this Hungarian team that are maybe giving them a little bit of light in this second half.
Green posting up and not able to catch it, and Horty then has it knocked out of her hands. So again, Hungary, you know, just staying within touch. You see the Rakshani three-pointer, staying within touch. It doesn't look good, but it's not over. They still got time. They've got 11 minutes.
Yeah,
and a lot can happen.
This Hungarian team were down in the fourth quarter against Slovenia, and they ended up winning by 4 points. So don't forget, you know, they have come back and won games in this tournament.
Green call for the hold, so free throws coming for Hungary, and that's, I think in this current situation, they'll take free throws where they can get them.
25 team Britain shared in green.
And really, considering how things have not gone well for Hungary so far in this game, I would say in this third quarter as well, they have to feel good about the fact that they're only down 9 points right now. You know, if I'm GB, I think you also missed an opportunity to maybe pull away a little bit more. I don't feel like they came out in this third quarter and have played great basketball. We've seen some great plays, but I don't think as a whole that they have played great basketball offensively. So, you know, they're lucky to still be up 8.
Here's Leadham. Nice cut to the basket, nice find, and Fackman just continues to dominate. And Leadham now
blocked by Fackman. Really, Rakshani had nowhere to go. Great defense by Fackman there.
Andy from deep, a bit one-on-one there from long range. And now it's Turner. Big possession for Hungary as they try to come back. Turner throws it into the hands of Leadham. And Leadham is, I'll tell you, defensively is really making things happen for Great Britain.
I would say offensively, it probably hasn't been her night. She's had a few turnovers. Here you see a wonderful pass to Fagbendley But like you said, defensively, Jo Leedham has 11 rebounds already, 6 assists, 2 steals. So maybe offensively it's not going down, but defensively she's really getting it done. There you see the score, 38-48 for Great Britain over Hungary at the end of the third quarter. Couple stats, 54%. Great Britain still shooting the ball incredibly well. Free throws, you know, Hungary's got to do, they got to get to the line more, they got to stop the clock, 7-9. They're shooting the ball decently well.
Well, 10 points was the lead for Great Britain at halftime over Hungary, 32-22. And even though Hungary were able to get that deficit down to single digits in the third quarter, they weren't able to make any inroads as Great Britain went to the end of the quarter with a 48-38 lead. Showing the turnovers have been a problem for Hungary. The pressure that Great Britain's defense, both on the perimeter and inside, has forced them. I think it's made them uncomfortable a lot of the times. They've been able to knock down some three-pointers. Have this Hungarian team, they're 5 of 10 from three-point range, and that's helped them kind of stay within touch. But they've got to start. They got to start making some inroads now. Yeah,
you know.
Orti bounce pass. Oh, beautiful play. Beautiful play from Hungary.
And you know, I think Hungary, there's 10 minutes left, you're down 8. They need to put a little bit more pressure on defensively. I think they should maybe start to pick up.
Offensive foul. Good play, Deborah Dubé. Fegbenly for setting the pick and just kind of, what would you say, moving her left leg?
I was going to say her hip a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Varga just scored. Previous trip down, has it knocked out of her hands by guess who?
No other than the Leedham, yep. But you know, that's what's great about Jo Leedham's game. Offensively, things aren't going, I would say, how she wants them to go. She's doing a good job of getting her teammates the ball and having them score, but so when your shots aren't falling, what do? Everything else. And that's what she's doing for this team, everything else.
Here she is putting it up and misses. They needed her to score on those other Great Britain teams that she's played for. And that, now she's able to show her all-around game. Her rebounding, her assist. Again, the second time this quarter, the extra bounce pass. And Chimamanda sees the British lead cut to 48-42, calls timeout. Great signs of a Hungarian recovery.
Beautiful high low there. The pass was from Varga to Horty. And that's what you do, because this GB defense, they're switching everywhere, so there are mismatch. And maybe you can't find the mismatch to pass right away, but you find the other angle to be able to go in, and that's what we see there from this Hungarian team. And, you know, here we'll take a listen what Coach Chemo wants to talk about.
Let's go now for 1-2, okay? But we put here Temi, normal two. Chantal there, Temi inside, Carly and Joe there, okay? All right, let's play that, okay? But don't panic. Just play defense, all right? Okay, let's go.
menjenek szélesen. De még egyszer mondom, nem ezen múlik, hanem az, hogy
There you see the game leaders, 10 points for Roxanne. And you know, I said before this game started, maybe it's her who's going to need to come out and play well because she hasn't played that great. She didn't play in their last game either. So we don't know if maybe she's coming off a little bit of an injury and they've been cautious with her minutes. But she's done, I mean, really, she's the only one who is scoring well. There,
Horty, 8 points, 5 rebounds, you can see. And Van der Waal. Interesting words from Butetas. Don't panic, just play good defense. Fagbenley able to get it back. She's going to take on Hattar. What a move to the basket.
And again, Hattar has 3 fouls, and so far Fagbenley has been able to score anywhere on the court against this Hungarian defense. And I don't know when maybe Coach Norbert of Hungary is going to say, okay, when she catches the ball, we need to go double.
Dubé drives in, dumps it off to Hattar, and there's the soft touch finally from Bernadette Hattar. And you can see on the bench some of the players looking up to the heavens and saying thank you. Samuelson finds her way in, takes a tough shot, and comes up with it, and she gets tied up. And Hungary down 6, but it is British possession. Good fight shown by Hungary here. A lot of teams would have already folded, you would have thought. And they are continuing to battle. Fagbenley, unreal. She is not human. What planet did she come from? She is playing with supreme confidence. It is something to behold.
It was her ability to score anywhere on the court. She just proved that she could take it off the dribble and score at the basket. And then I thought she was going to maybe try and drive again, but no, she just goes to this, you know, casual jump shot baseline and nothing but net.
So Chantel Handy with the foul. Here it is. She's looking a little tired here, but look at her. She says, okay, I got this. This is why I practice.
You know, she has played almost 30 minutes in this game so far, so you kind of gotta push through. Keep in mind, the winner of this is going to make it to the semifinals.
Hattar chasing the basketball.
And again, Jo Lieden didn't get that rebound right there, but she had a great box out, and she prevented a much taller Hattar from getting an easy offensive rebound, which probably would have been 2 points, to be honest.
Yeah, she's a coach's dream.
She is, and you know, she doesn't get that. It goes out under a team rebound, but really, the things that Jo Lieden's doing for this team don't always show up for her statistically.
She puts her nose where it's not wanted. Simply put, she's a tough customer.
She is.
She's got the
such
ball
a competitor.
now. Here she is, driving in, getting the foul called on Agnes Studer.
And you know, Jo Lieden is 0 for 5 tonight.
Third personal foul.
I think the word that you use to describe Lieden really is leader. I mean, she is leading by example.
Yeah, she absolutely is the leader of this team, though, and her competitiveness is, you know, yeah, really, there's not a lot of people who are as competitive as she is, and she, as long as she's on the court, she's going to give you 100% every single time.
Well, she's an Olympian. She played in 2012 in that wonderful Olympic Games, as did you, I might add.
Another, you know, EuroLeague player for this GB team.
Now the pass goes out of bounds. And hard to believe that Olympics was 7 years ago. Goodness me, what's happened at all this time? Look at that, 17 Hungarian turnovers. And it's you just feel like if you're a Hungarian fan right now and the coach, you're like, weren't we just in the middle of a run and all of a sudden they've got the ball and we're still down by 10?
Back then.
Yeah.
Not much more to say other than, you know, that's why.
Good handoff. She fakes it. She goes hard. She loses it, though, this time, but it goes off of Dubé's hands. Incredibly. They had an opportunity. Good defense.
I thought it was great defense. They helped in a little bit. They forced the turnover.
But just 5 on the shot clock, Shona.
But, you know, this is just the way it's going for Hungary tonight. Instead of being able to pick up that ball and running back down on offense, just rolls out on them. Look at this, through her legs.
Okay, so 5 on the shot clock. Handy. Does she know it? She gets it to Fagbinley for 3. She got it off the rim. Leadham looking at the ref to say, hey, Varga's pushing off with giving me a forearm shiver. Here's Varga, drives in, tough move, great effort, both teams, but it was Fagbinley's pressure that got the ball back to Leadham. Leadham is going to have an interesting stat line after this. Here she is. And Fagbinley misses.
I think Fagbinley might be getting a little tight.
You think you might give her just a breather?
I don't think you take the risk. You know, keep in mind the loser of this team still has an opportunity to play for that coveted top 6 finish, which will get you a ticket to the Olympic qualification tournament.
Oh, great catch, great move from Hatar, and that gets it back to an 8-point deficit for Hungary. 5 minutes, 5 seconds remaining here. Samuelson, Handy now. Leadham into the paint, hands it off to Fagbinley. Oh, she just uses that move, and she looks over and says, 2 points, please.
And that's another assist by Jolika. She's the one who created that opportunity for Fagbinley. Don't get me wrong, I mean, beautiful shot fake here.
Look at this fake. Fake, thank you very much. I'll take the layup. And just like that, Fagbinley has 27 points, 12 of 20 from the floor. And
she had 29 points in the last game.
Somebody needs to go out there and say, Tendy, just get a couple of rebounds. We want you to have a double-double tonight.
And, you know, that 29 points was the most by a British basketball player, right?
Yeah.
At any major FIBA event, tournament.
At the EuroBasket.
So, and the Olympics, no one before them scored 29 points. So here you see field goal percentages. I mean, really, Great Britain, they're a good shooting team, and everyone, you see it, even when they miss, they're very confident taking their shots, and I think that's why they do shoot such a high percentage. There you see turnovers, 17 by Hungary, 12 for, just 12 for Great Britain. I mean, this defense, I think, has really frustrated Hungary. They have not got a lot going, but around this mark in the first game against Slovenia, Hungary were down, and Yvonne Turner checked into the game and just took over. And we see her back on the court for this Hungarian team. Same with Zele. So it's kind of now or never if you're Hungary. You gotta go. You gotta get a score, then you gotta get a couple consecutive stops and a score.
Here's Turner again. Still got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to make her impact on this game. She launches the 3, though. I think the hand in the face by Van der Waal.
And great defense. And you know what? Before that, Coach Chema, Great Britain, changed up his defense because they were switching on ball screens. There, they helped.
Wow. Great recognition there by Handy, knowing couldn't catch it in the backcourt. Wants the ball. Fagbinley not able to catch it. Dubé hands it off to Turner. And Turner fouled out on the perimeter. That's the 3rd team foul on Great Britain. So they can commit another one before being over the limit and putting Hungary on the line. But the looks on the Hungary bench say it all. It's like we're up against it. A lot can happen in 4 minutes. Turner drives down the lane, and that's Yvonne Turner.
See right here, Yvonne Turner has to pick up Joe Leadham. You gotta try and force some turnovers, force Great Britain to play uncomfortable, I would say.
Shot clock winding down, and a foul called on Fagbinley.
So that's her 2nd moving screen foul. I don't know if refs think she's kind of sticky on her hip a little bit at the end, or her knee here.
Not too much.
Turner kind of just got caught, like hooked on her Turner's leg kind of got hooked on Begbendi's leg.
But the only good thing you can say about that possession for Great Britain is some of the time went off the clock. Dubé takes to 3, and the rebound by Zele. Struder again for 3. Good! And the emotion from Varga. They've got it back to within 5 points now. Hungary alive and kicking.
And you know, if you're GB right now, you need to get a good look offensively.
And Zele holding her face like, I don't know if she took a shot to the nose. Maybe it's her shoulder.
Is she bleeding? So if she's bleeding, she has to go out.
Do you think now, as you look at Zele, that we might see Great Britain wobble a little bit?
Well, you know,
It was a tough call.
Great Britain comfortably have been leading for most of this game. I think it was 4-0 to begin for Hungary, and then Great Britain settled in and took over. So they are experienced as far as.
Well, 6 on the shot clock. Lead them. They're gonna have to take a tough one. Great defense from Turner. They forced the turnover. Hungary can close the gap to 3, or if they hit a 3, they can close it to 2. Oh, the pass was over the hands, the outstretched hands of Hatar.
You know, I think that's a missed opportunity if I'm Hungary.
That was a tough pass.
It was a very tough pass. Here, you need to get up. There you go.
Van der Waal, they've got to hurry. Will they get it? She gets it over just in time. And they get a layup out of it. What a pass from Samuelson.
Great pass. I mean, I didn't even see Joe lead him down there, so. She's kind of cherry picking a little bit, no?
Well, if you are being pressed and double teamed, somebody's got to be open.
And that's what you kind of give up, and those are the risks that you take, especially when you're down there.
Turner over to Hatar. She goes in. Strong move from Bernadette Hatar.
And you know, you kind of say, how come you haven't been doing that all game?
That's right. Lead him. Gets it across midcourt. Gets it back to Fagbin.
So right now, Great Britain have to use the clock. But when I say that, you don't want to take a bad shot either.
Oh, Samuelson trying to get it to Van der Waal, and Turner picks or intercepts it. Now she puts up a 3. Good! Hungary have cut it to 2 points. And some nervous looks now in the stands on the face of the British fans. And that off of the turnover. And we knew that Turner has had this in her game all day long. She hasn't shown it, but she is, over the final 4 minutes, finally showing us the real Yvonne Turner.
Yeah, and, you know, I said that the reason Hungary got that win over Slovenia in the first game of this tournament was because of that woman right there. And it all starts with defense, you know. At the end of the third quarter...
Okay.
Here, we'll take a listen.
Joe go there and then pick from you. Okay? Simple. All right?
He's so
okay.
calm.
But again, the game is in defense. All right? The game is in defense. Don't panic if they score. Okay? All right? That's it, ladies. Okay.
Bettivel, lapos, a többi csapda. Figyelj! Two side, Vonival. Jó, te rád passzoljuk az elsőt. Te rád passzoljuk az elsőt.
All the momentum right now with Hungary. Is this going to be what you could probably describe a miracle comeback? I mean, they were not going anywhere for so long.
Really. And it seemed like Great Britain had control of the game, had momentum, everything. But really, it started with defense. Great Britain had 11 turnovers at the end of the third. Here you see a wonderful take by Turner. And then now GB have 16 turnovers. So Hungary were able to force turnovers that led to scores and baskets for them.
They've got 14 points off the British turnovers. Great Britain need a basket, and really, in this situation, you would think you want to go to Fagbinley down low. Sets the pick, lead him, drives, and travels. And you know what? When you get into the lane, you either have to make the pass or you got to get out of the lane.
Yeah, you know, I think she might have been able to go up for a shot. Not on the initial tape.
She
did drag her pivot foot there.
Staying on her feet. Now Dubé of Hungary score 3 here. If they make a 3, they take the lead. Turner's going to penetrate. And Hatar with the rebound. She puts it up. Turner comes in and gets another chance for Hungary. Will she launch a 3? She's looking at it. She's thinking about the 3. Samuelson guarding her. Turner steps back. She passes to Hatar. She doesn't score. Incredibly, the ball did not go down.
I don't know how it didn't go down. I mean, right now, GB, you know, I keep saying they need to use the clock, but they're a lot better when they just play and kind of go for a good shot.
They'll lead them. Under pressure, Van der Waal now to Fagbenley. Shot clock about to expire. She goes hard to the hole and she scores. It had to be her. It had to be Tammy Fagbenley, and it had to be right at the end of the shot clock.
And you know what, Jeff? That offense by Great Britain was not pretty. And you saw all of them kind of looking at Fagbenley like, when can we give you the ball? Just do what you do. And guess what? She does.
And she, you know
she does it really well.
Look at the contact. I mean, she could have easily been fouled.
Yeah.
And it wasn't called. I mean, at the end of the day, folks,
like, you don't even see a smile out of her.
She has got superstar written all over her. I mean, she
really
has been utterly sensational. And the question is, will it go for naught? Will Hungary come back and win? Because Fagbenley couldn't have done much else.
No, really. 29 points, 8 rebounds. 13 to 21, and there you see the free throw percentage. This is something to keep in mind down the stretch of the game, because 67% is not a great free throw percentage. If you're down, so right here, Hungary's got to go for a good shot, a quick shot, but a good shot. And depending on the time and score, they might have to foul. And Great Britain have not been to the line a lot, but when they have been, they've also missed a few times. So that can give Hungary a little bit of life as well.
Those are the numbers that we've been talking about from Fagbenley, and none of her points was important, really, as the 2 that we just saw. But 49.2 seconds for basketball is an eternity. It is an eternity, and
like I mentioned quickly, Hungary needs to get a shot relatively fast because it is still a 2-possession game, but they need to get a good shot. So it's okay if they run an offense here, take some time off the clock.
Plus, they're going to shift the 3 from Studer, and she comes right out and shows she's got ice running in her veins. Unreal. What a contest. Now Van der Waal fouled by Studer, the second team foul in the quarter on Hungary.
I mean, that was poor defensive communication by Great Britain, in my opinion. Great shot by Studer, but I mean, considering how well Great Britain has played defensively, you don't kind of see those breakdowns like you just saw there.
Just 20 years of age, Studer, and Fagbenley fouled. She's so tough. Again, it's a tough assignment for Hatar to guard her away from the basket.
I mean, I thought Fagbenley was good around the basket, and she has just proven that she can score from anywhere. So like you said, for a player like Hatar, it's a
big ask.
Yes.
Andy has to inbound it. She does get it to Samuelson, who's now trapped and fouled by Dubé. And that is now number 4 on Hungary in the quarter. 29.1 seconds.
Are they going to foul and put Great Britain on the line, or did they just want to get closer to that, and now they're going to try and play good defense?
For one of these teams to be checking into the Heartbreak Hotel after this one. What a finish to the game. Fagbenley goes in the block from Hatar, and now Hungary get it back, and for really the first time in the game, it is a confrontation won by Hatar.
Great job by Hatar. I mean, she got all ball.
And they could hold it for one shot if they wanted. And
yeah,
that's the question.
So this is my theory. You don't want to shoot fast, but you don't want to take too much time off the clock in case you do miss, because you do want to be able to have another opportunity to score.
Well, Turner's tough with the ball in her hands. She's got the rock. She's going to the basket. She's going to pass it back to Hatar. She turns. She doesn't score. And a foul. And Hatar could not have been in a better position.
No, know.
for the go-ahead basket, and I don't know why she didn't make it.
I don't know. I don't think she was fouled on the play either. I think.
And now your point about the free throws and how crucial they are.
Jeff, there's 4 seconds left. There's still a lot of time.
Unbelievable opportunity that might have just escaped Hungary.
Quick look here.
Crucial free throws from Samuelson.
Samuelson's 93% in this tournament.
But even if she makes it
Today, she's only 1 of 2.
But even if she makes this, they've got a chance. You don't want to foul the three-point shooter, though, do you?
You know what? And I would foul right now if I was GB.
Final seconds ticking off the clock. Studer puts it up. Will it go down? Oh, and Great Britain have held on. In one of the most remarkable games of this EuroBasket women. What a comeback by Hungary, but they are denied. Maybe this is the year of Great Britain for the first time ever in the semifinals of a FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Great Britain does the shoe fit for the Cinderella team. They have won 62-59 over Hungary.
I mean, I think everyone in the gym held their breath on that shot that had a huge bounce by Struder at the end there, because it almost looked like it was going to go down. Here you get to see it.
Look,
everyone held their breath because look at that angle. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
what a finish. What a quarter. What a game. And what a performance by Fakban Lee, who has, I don't want to say she's put the team on her back and carried them, because there have been some wonderful contributions from a whole cast of characters, but she was just utterly sensational. As the team shake hands and you look at the stats.
What jumps out there, 56% compared to only 32. You know, rebounding, slight advantage for GB, assists, everything else was really kind of equal except the shooting percentage by Great Britain, and they are leading this team at this tournament in shooting percentage, and I think that's a big reason why they were able to pull off the win tonight. There you see the leaders.
Turner all over the place there with 11, 8, and 4. Fakban Lee with the 29, 12 points. Excuse me, 12 rebounds rather for Leadham. I mean, just all these players. Leadham had the 5 turnovers, but her value to this British team overall is just immense. And I can't quite believe what I've just witnessed, really. I mean, I was nervous for both teams watching that game.
I was really nervous, and you know, you see some tears in the eyes of the Hungarian players, but don't forget that Hungary still have a game.
Yeah.
They will play Saturday. They have a day off. They have time to recover, to scout, and they still have an opportunity to go to that all-important Olympic qualification tournament coming around November, February. So it's not over for them. This tournament is not over. You see the excitement because Great Britain have made history. They have absolutely made history for themselves, for their program. And those who have followed Great Britain, everyone knows how much this means for a lot of different reasons. But more importantly, they're going to be having the opportunity to play for a medal, Jeff, but they're also, they've now qualified for that tournament we're talking about. So they could possibly be going to the Olympics in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're now 1 win away from a spot on the podium here at the Women's EuroBasket. I can't believe I just said that. I mean, it's just been a real testament to, first of all, what these players are all about.
Yeah.
The hard work. You know what? It is a country, let's be honest, that certain powers do not give the support to women's basketball, perhaps especially the basketball in general. And they are basically making a statement today. We are going to do it with or without you. And they have come out and really shown a lot of pride. It has been something else. Hungary were, well, they were...
both these teams had a great
I
opportunity.
applaud them for coming back.
Yeah.
I think you saw the lineup for the rest of the day. So the first quarterfinal won by Great Britain. And we will have 3 more quarterfinals coming your way. Next up will be Spain against Russia. Is the last shot, I think, by Studer and
That was just during the comeback. So Fagbinley now 4 consecutive games of scoring 20 or more points.
I mean, that is superstar status. That is all-star 5 status, the numbers she has put in during this tournament.
She's quite possibly the favorite at this stage to win MVP of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. So the winner of this game, Great Britain, will play the winner now of France-Belgium, which will be the 3rd game of the day. And we don't know how that one's going to go. That's going to be a great game.
You know, this day is
bet against
packed.
this Great Britain team right now.
Yeah.
They are in the clouds.
And you know what I loved was that timeout when Hungary were going on that. Sorry, here you go.
You look Spain, Russia next. That'll tip off at 3 p.m. local time here in Belgrade. Then it'll be France against Belgium at 6 o'clock. And then the nightcap, the final game, the one that everybody is buzzing about in Belgrade, will be Serbia taking on Sweden. So, I think I need to go take a deep breath. That was exciting. Thanks for watching, folks. Great Britain advanced to the semifinals with a 62-59 win over Hungary.